All right, we're back. My name is Taylor with Bellator Claims. I'm here with Chris. He is the claims
Heyo.
manager, Bellator Claims as well. And we just want to we've been starting like doing this video series as far as like informing, educating, making people aware of what the insurance companies are doing. Recently, we've seen something really interesting, and it's being pressured to use the insurance company's preferred vendor. Most states are what's called contractor of choice, meaning it doesn't matter what the insurance company says and who they want you to use for your contractor to rebuild your house after a fire, put on a new roof after a hail or wind claim, whatever it might be. Most states are contractor of choice, which is where we're at. And right now, Chris is telling me that we're filing a claim, is getting pressured almost to use these preferred vendors from the insurance company. And usually the claims we work on already have a contractor that they're working with. So why is the insurance company doing this? Is it something that is required? And how is this going? So, Chris, I want you to talk to this a little bit in regards to what you're experiencing, which I think is super interesting, and kind of why you think this is happening. And let's just take the conversation from there.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. So actually just recently, two back-to-back instances where we got involved without this client filing a claim because they just wanted to work with us from start to finish, which we highly recommend for everyone out there. That way we can kind of navigate the ship from start to finish, which
Right.
means that you don't even have to talk to an insurance company. We do all the
Right.
talking, we
Right.
follow the claim for you. So this is what happened. I filed a claim on two different clients, two different insurance companies.
Mm.
And one of the biggest things was they were hounding me on, well, has this insured found a general contractor yet or a roofer? And, I'm like, yeah, I think they possibly have. I'm not 100% certain, but I'll let you know. Well, I have three people that I would highly recommend that they reach out to, and I can give you all their contact information.
And that's what the insurance company is telling you is, hey, I have three
Mhm.
people and I'll give you the contact information, almost pushing that on you for a preferred vendor.
Or I can even have them give you a call if I get your permission to do so. And I just was like, no, no, no. Like I said, I think this person is going to work with this roofer slash general contractor already. I just don't have all the details yet. And it was like, are you sure? Because again, we have people in this area. I'm like, okay, I'm thinking in my mind, I'm filing a claim on behalf, of this insured. There's true property here. We need to kind of get into the nuts and bolts of what's going on with this claim versus just me being pushed over to you as a certain
Right.
different one of their preferred vendors, if you will.
Right. Yeah.
So it was
Well,
crazy.
yeah,
Sorry, go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. So talk a little bit more in depth about that. How did it make you feel? Like did you feel pressured? Like just speak to that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I felt like most of the conversation, 0 out of 100%, I'd say about 25 to 30% was just on that one main point of, hey,
Wow.
you guys should definitely use one of our preferred contractors. And that's
Wow.
actually one of the, on the second claim that I filed, that was one of the first questions. It was date of loss and, kind of what happened. And just so you guys know, date of loss is when obviously the, peril occurred to where you had to file a claim, whether it's
Right.
hail, windstorm, whatever. And then, they asked a little bit, well, what are the damages a little bit? And then like, I think it was like, actually the third question is, okay, so we have some people that we can refer out to your way that can probably get this done for you. How does that sound? And it was kind of a pretty aggressive sales pitch. And I was
Right.
like, wow, hey, nice job. Well, first off, I'm not the insured. I already know who the insured is going to be using, but had to give him kudos on that
Yeah.
for those sales tactics.
Well,
But yeah, I'm seeing this.
dude, it's interesting. So in my mind, what I'm thinking, because you do that portion of it, I do a different portion of the claim and kind of the processing of that and meetings and things like that. But what I'm thinking in my mind is if you're an insured and you're calling to make your claim and you're just like, they're like, oh, you got to use this guy. I got somebody of the. They might be like, oh, okay. So
Mhm.
contractors just know that the insurance company is trying to snipe your insured to use their preferred vendor. Now, something, so it's called MRP. MRP is what's called a managed repair program. And that's what they're trying to do is they're trying to get you as the insured to use their MRP vendor because they pay less. So usually, and this isn't across the board, so don't come
Mhm.
at me, bro. Don't come at me because it's not the same everywhere. But I can tell you this, it's usually when you're in one of those managed repair programs as a preferred vendor contractor. So the contractor has to agree that if they're going to get all these deals from the insurance company, because basically the contractor doesn't have to do marketing or sales or all that stuff, they're just handed the MRP client on a silver platter without having to do anything. So the insurance company says, look, you have to take 20 to 25% less on every job that we send you. Weird, the insurance company doesn't tell you that. Why do you think they don't tell you that? Well, it's because you know the same thing that I know, that everybody else knows, is if a contractor is taking 20% less or 25% less to do a deal, so we'll just use some real numbers, say a repair or replacement of the roof or property or whatever it might be, say you have your insurance claim at $100,000 is what should be paid. And now I, as a preferred vendor, managed repair partner in that program, get $75,000 instead of $100,000. Guess what happens? There are corners that are cut everywhere. And I'm not saying that about all contractors that are in these programs, because that isn't the case. But I can tell you this, you know, as well as I do, using common sense, that when you as a contractor are getting paid less than the guy that should be doing the job getting paid $25,000 more, who is going to more likely cut corners of things that you can't see until it's too late, right? Again, not saying that blanket statement for everybody, because that's not the case. But what I'm saying is they are for sure getting paid less based on all the information that I've gotten. What does that do to quality, completeness, workmanship? Like, what does that do?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And, as I'm thinking about this too, and as you're talking about it, you got to look at it this way, that, this insurance company is referring this contractor. When you choose your contractor's working for you. So there could be some things missed that should have been caught. Maybe the fence was damaged from a hailstorm, but guess what? It's not in the estimate. And again, this isn't for everyone. I'm just
Right.
giving some just general examples
Good.
of what
You're
to
bringing
think
up good
about.
points, right?
Yeah.
And that's an amazing way to articulate it, is when you hire your own contractor, they work for you.
Mhm.
When you choose the managed repair partner vendor, they technically still work for the insurance company. Yeah, you might sign their agreement. However, they still work for the insurance company. And the insurance company has basically said, hey, we're going to send you so many jobs that you have to do it for less,
Mhm.
and kind of fair to a certain extent. They don't have some of those expenses, but ultimately, like, if it was mine, I would want to choose the contractor because I want to know who's doing the job. I want to know that they're reputable. I want to know that they've been in business for a certain amount of time. I want to know that they are going to be in business when I need them in the future, right? And I also want to know that other people that I might know and trust have worked with them.
Mhm.
And just like you said, if they work for me, I feel like I can hold them to a standard and a level of performance that somebody else that's not looking at the finished product is not going to technically hold them to, right? And I can't tell you
Mhm.
how many times, Chris, I have talked to insureds where I've heard the horror stories of the contractor A from the managed repair program didn't do the job. Now I can't find anybody else to do it. The insurance company won't help me. They're just basically saying it's my problem. And so again, these are some generalizations, and it's not
Mhm.
happening on every single one. But why
Just
even take
something
that
to think
risk?
about. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Why even take that
Absolutely.
risk? If you're not forced, like if the insurance company's like, in the policy, it says you must use our managed repair partner program vendor, you have no choice. But if you
Mhm.
have a choice, why would you even take that risk? Right?
100%. Yep.
So when it comes to this, again, we do this video series just to raise awareness and educate, inform, and maybe entertain, because I get really passionate and I yell a lot and move my hands a lot. But
Mhm.
ultimately, it's this is we want to make sure that you are aware that you have rights within the policy, and whatever the policy says is what it says. And that dictates the way that your claim should go. So if you have a covered cause of loss, which is apparel, which is what Chris had talked about previously, in regards to your loss, and then the insurance company is not being fair, what can you do? You can hire a public insurance adjuster. You can give up, which is the worst thing you could possibly do. You could maybe get an attorney involved, depending on the size of the claim and if they're willing to take it. But I can tell you, we're way less than what an attorney charges, right? And we charge a contingency fee for service, meaning if we don't win for you, you don't pay us. Seems like a pretty good deal, right? So ultimately, what I want you to do now is I want you to go to bellatorclaims.com. I want you to fill out a form or give us a call and see what we can do to help you win your claim. And Chris, any final thoughts, my friend?
No, I think you covered everything. That was great. Good information.
Right. Absolutely. So we hope it's good information for you. If you guys need anything else, let us know and continue the good fight. Don't give up.